I said kind of like what people in your life have kind of shaped who you are. This is a very like big and broad question at the same time. Mm-hmm. Are there moments in your life that
oh my God
have shaped?
Oh yeah.
Like what do you kind of go back to, good and bad? What are some of the moments that have shaped you as a person?
You can please some of the people all of the time.
You can please all of the people some of the time.
But you can't please all of the people all of the time. Welcome to the People Pleasers Podcast. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back to us.
Welcome back to us.
Welcome back to us.
Woohoo.
So much has changed in the world in
I
the
know.
last couple weeks.
It's been it's been a minute.
I know.
It's been a while.
Did we record? We last recorded before Halloween.
It was 2 days before Halloween.
Yeah.
We've had life. We've had
Slapped us in the
sickness.
face.
We've had work. We've had everything. So we took a little break, little week off.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We're refreshed.
Yeah. But a lot of life has happened, I feel like. Even we talk to each other pretty much like, I feel like almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the past couple of weeks, we've all been so busy and like so much has gone on that I realized yesterday, I'm like, it's been like 5 days since I've texted in the group chat. I was like, dang, this is sad.
I know.
It was.
It's life. But what's been going on for everyone since we were last here? Sarah?
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Yeah. Great. Your turn.
Honestly, not much. I feel like the first weekend.
That much life, huh?
Clearly, that's what's been going on. No, we met, and then that weekend I think was like Mitch and I's first chill weekend in a long time.
Yeah.
So we kind of did nothing. We watched The Grinch.
Love that for you.
Because The Grinch came on. I know.
Sarah's
I meant to
life
send it to you guys because we literally watched the the newer animated version last weekend.
It's my favorite. I love that one.
That's your favorite over Jim Carrey?
I really like it.
I
too.
love it.
I'll be honest, guys. I haven't seen it.
I think you would love it.
I know.
Sarah, I think you would love it. There's so many funny moments.
I'm a tried and true Jim Carrey girl.
Which is okay. But there's so many cute, funny moments.
I did see it. I did think about watching it the other night, and then I didn't.
But I watched the original Grinch this past weekend. So I watched both of them because they both were on TV. So
the real people one, not the animated?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, so like 2 weekends ago, I watched the animated.
Yeah.
And then this past weekend on Saturday, I watched the real one.
Really getting in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Huh?
I
love that for
love
you.
it
so much.
I know. It makes me want to decorate. We'll probably decorate this weekend.
Yeah.
Just to like.
It's a good time
Well,
to do
someone
it.
told me, I don't know who it was, but they're like, there's only 3 weekends between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I was
So
like.
they're not up for long. I know. I had that thought
gosh.
driving here. I was like, should I be doing this? But I'm like, no, it's still
I know.
fall.
I know.
It's hard. I think if we had a really cute fall porch with cute pumpkins, that would make me want to celebrate fall a little more, but the squirrels eat them, as we know.
Squirrels are like, nah.
So I didn't get any cute front porch pumpkins. So now I'm like, all right, Christmas. Let's just do it.
See, I have a quick opinion on that because we also set up our Christmas stuff last week, mainly because that was our only weekend now that Holt's home until Thanksgiving. And I think part of why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, because it just is superior, but like, I think it can all revolve around the holidays. Like, it's not like it has to be just Thanksgiving or just Christmas. Like, I feel like the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas can just be wrapped into one somewhat. That, like, Thanksgiving is just the best to have Christmas stuff up because you don't necessarily have to celebrate Christmas, but it just makes you happy. And
It's
then, like, you're
cozy.
looking forward to it afterwards. Like, there's no letdown. Like, it's just cruising right into Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just such a happy time.
Yeah.
I don't think you should go hard November
Unless you
1
want to.
Yeah.
unless you want to.
If you want to,
if you
do
want
your
to
thing.
do
Yeah.
it. My sister literally sets up her Christmas tree on October 31st when
Yeah.
she has the last trick-or-treater. Love that.
That's so cute.
But
the last
like,
trick-or-treater,
literally,
that's so cute.
they bring it up every, like, the last several years, at least since they've had their house, they bring it up that night. But I just think I think it's okay to decorate early.
I think it's okay to do whatever you want.
Also, I
Exactly.
think you can
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
I see so many people posting like polls on socials and being like, is it too early? I'm like, do you want your Christmas decorations up? Then do
Right.
it.
Is it going to make you happy?
It's your house.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Don't
feel
worry
like,
about it.
And maybe I mentioned this last time too. I feel like Mitch and I don't have a set day. I think he would prefer to like decorate on like the day after Halloween, so November 1st. His family always like decorates Thanksgiving morning. My family, I don't think there's ever been like a set day, just sometime I think like after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ooh, what should our day be? But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a big commitment. You want to be like excited about it. You want to get your coffee, maybe make some like
Cookies.
pastries. Yeah. And then I'm just like, I feel like it'll just kind of come to you when you're like, today is the day.
Yep. This feels right.
Yeah. I'm hoping that hits for me this weekend because we don't have any plans. And I'm like,
You're like, come to me on Saturday.
Right, but it's like sunny. It's gonna be like sunny and 64. So I'm like, that's fall to me, you know?
Yeah.
True.
Like it's just like when I look outside and I see fall vibes, I'm like, I'm like, maybe the week of Thanksgiving, like before Thanksgiving, because my family always did it the day after Thanksgiving. But then
That's
like
when mine does it.
Zach's family, they already have their tree up. So it's
yeah.
it's a commitment though. Zach did ask me, he was like, do you want me to bring up the Christmas decor? I was like, no. It's like, I think I'll keep my pumpkins just like another couple weeks. But
See, we just set up our tree. We didn't set up everything else. Like it was just the tree.
no stockings are
And
hung.
then no stockings have been hung by our not chimney.
The chimney with care.
But it's just like that's where I'm kind of like, okay, then after Thanksgiving, I'll continue to like decorate everything.
Yeah.
But like I just want the tree up mainly because I just like the light.
Yeah.
Just like when
That's
you don't
true,
have to
because it
have
gets
any
dark
lights
so
on.
early too. So
Yeah.
that's a nice little touch.
That's
just a little
actually so
extra.
cute. Just like kind of pieces here and there.
Yeah.
I've never
That way you can
heard
all
of
or
anyone
nothing.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that's
It's
the
all
thing
at
with
once.
us is we want to get a real tree every year. And I'm like, I don't know when you can start getting those. So it feels weird to decorate without a tree. So I put everything else up but not our tree. That
No.
feels
That's
weird.
true. That feels
I mean,
weird.
do
I'm
what you
like,
want, but no.
I know.
Yeah, no. If that
We'll
makes
see what
sense for you,
happens.
yes. But
Yeah.
for me,
We'll
that would
see.
feel funny.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
We'll see how the place looks when we come over
I
next
know.
week.
True.
Okay, back to you and
Yeah.
what was going on with you, Dom?
Yeah, it was a super chill.
Wait, hang on. Do it.
Do it.
Oh my God.
I couldn't hear anything. My ears are still clogged.
Yeah.
So when I blow my nose, when I blow my nose, I can't hear anything but me blowing my nose. Like the whole world goes away.
Yeah. It sounds nice. Oh.
God.
Guys, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You got to do what you got to do.
I gotta get it out.
You have to.
If you
Better
couldn't
out than
tell
in.
by now, I was the one that was sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, Dom. Take it away.
Yeah, it was just a chill weekend. And then it's technically like our last wedding because Mitch and I still have 2 more weddings this like coming up for the rest of the year. But mainly Mitch will be filming them since I'm in the wedding. So they're 2 of our good friends. Right. He'll be filming mainly. So technically we had our last wedding of the year on Friday at
How'd it
Hawthorne
go?
House. It was so good. Honestly, the couple was just... I know, Hawthorne House. It was amazing. Their whole staff. And then do you guys know who Reagan is? With Sage Wedco. So she like works there too. And so it was so funny when I showed up, I was like, what are you doing here? I was like, they didn't have like a planner or anything. She's like, no, I work for Hawthorne House like part-time. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was
so
amazing.
sweet.
All
of them are.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. She was there. And then Jacqueline, she was amazing.
Yeah.
So, and then her second shooter was there and she was awesome too. So it was really good. Vendor team, the couple was amazing. It was a busy day. I don't think there was like a lot of downtime because I think without like the time change, there was no sunset photos. It was like their first look into bridal party photos, their photos, and then ceremony, and then the rest of the events were just happening for the reception after. But so it was busy, but it was a really good one to like end on. Like Mitch and I really felt like, okay, this was a good one to end on for the year. Yeah. So yeah, it was
excited
good.
for you.
Yeah.
I know. Feels good to be done. What about you guys? How was your weekends? Past 2 weeks.
You go, I go. You go, who goes?
I know. I was driving
for it.
here and I was like, what have I been doing?
What have I been up to?
What? I can't even remember everything. We had Halloween since we last recorded, but I'm like, that's pretty far gone. But that was fun. Zach and I
You can
dressed
talk about
up.
your favorite part.
Yeah.
And what you
we went
dressed up
trick-or-treating
as?
with Charlie. It was cute. Yeah, we were Velma and Shaggy. And we went to a Halloween party one night, which was a lot of fun too, because we just haven't been to like a Halloween party, and I don't even remember the last time. So it was really fun to like
Play some
actually
like beer pong, flip cup.
Yeah, we didn't do flip cup, but we did do beer pong. We lost. Yeah, I
Better
know.
luck next
It was so
year.
fun. Yeah,
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make that an episode.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
A little Christmas like beer. Well, not beer pong, but like because we gotta talk and not be drunk. We've spoken from experience.
Water pong.
It could be water, or what if it was? Well, I guess that's kind of gross. I was gonna say, what if it could be like sparkling cider, like something?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Wheels are turning. Anyway, I think we'd have a good time.
I think we would.
I would love it. Okay. Anyway, back to you.
Anyways, yeah. So that was fun. Halloween was good. That was the first weekend that we had off, and then I had my last wedding of the year this past weekend. Yes, it was really good.
How's that feel?
It feels so good. Like it didn't really hit me until Sunday when I was like recovering, and I was like, oh wait, this is like the last time this year that I'm gonna feel like this.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
recovery.
So it's just Zach keeps saying I'm on holiday break now, so that's really good. I'm excited to have just lots of time with family and the holidays coming up. It's gonna be really nice to not have to think about weddings on top of that. Obviously, still planning for those coming up in 2025. I was going to say 2026. I'm like, what year is it?
Honestly, both.
2025.
We're coming into that now too.
Exactly. But yeah, it went really good. It was just a really chill day. We were at La Via, which is always so pretty.
I love that
I want to go there so bad. Someone please just hire me.
They didn't have a videographer.
If you were getting married at La Via, hire Dom. You must.
That is like my one venue that that in Grand Hall, because you guys have been to Grand Hall so many times. Never have I ever.
Oh, I feel like you would love it.
Never have I ever.
So I'm like, those are just two venues I really, really.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm doing my best.
I know when I saw your stories, I was like, oh my gosh, she was there.
I know.
She was there without me.
I know.
I
It looks so pretty.
It was
Yeah,
really,
it
really
looked
good.
beautiful.
It was just a very chill day. They didn't do a first look or anything like that. So it was just really chill and really good. So it was smooth. I love it. It was fun.
We love days like that.
But yeah, other than that, just grinding.
Just grinding
Just
away.
working. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think there's any other, we've had, don't want to bring it up necessarily, but we had the election since we last recorded. So that was,
There was
a lot of emotions with that. It was
Mm-hmm.
definitely just,
Yeah.
I feel like as us as like highly sensitive people, we're like already take on other people's emotions. So then with everybody just being so heightened during that, it was just overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot to take on.
yeah, I just kind of had to hunker down and just, cried a few times, just had a few meltdowns, let it
need to
out.
take care of you.
Exactly. So yeah.
It really snuck up on us. I feel like for a while there's like this big build up, and then all of a sudden November hit, and it's like, okay, voting and
Like,
done.
oh shit, it's here.
Like, wow.
Yeah, now it's over.
It was,
It's like, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how it always happens, I guess.
Yep.
Trying to, have some hope for what's in store. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a little bit scary. But
Absolutely.
I think everybody's kind of feeling that way right now. So
Just the unknown.
yeah.
Never know.
Yep. Now we're all just like,
Thanks, Cheryl. No, I'm just
sorry.
kidding.
That's a big thing
No,
that
it
happened.
is. No, it
since
is
we
a very
last-
big. I mean,
you
that
know.
was, I think, also part of the reason. I was sick, but also it was like we're just dealing with a lot physically and mentally this week that we need to take care of ourselves first right now, and that's why we needed to take a week off to do that.
Right.
And I don't think we would have been in a good headspace.
No, I think
Last
we
week.
would have been in zombie mode.
I think I don't think it would have been good.
very entertaining.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it took some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You're feeling better?
I'm
still,
feeling
still
better.
a little snotty.
Little snotty.
If we keep that in here, which we probably will. Yes, I'm still a little snotty.
I'm keeping it.
The things that you have kept in here of me, that's staying.
Sarah's like, this is your time.
Yes.
I've been through it. You get to deal with it now. No, I was going to take a second to step on a little soapbox because you were
got the
talking
mic.
about it. I also finished my wedding season for the year this past weekend.
I didn't realize Oliver's were on the same
Weekend.
I knew your guys' were, but for some reason I thought mine was different.
I thought yours
don't
was
know.
maybe like a week after us.
That's
Like
what I
I knew we were
thought. Yeah.
close, but I knew we were the same. And I was like, I think
Yeah.
Dom's maybe like within a week of
Yeah.
each other because
That's
we were
what I
all saying
thought too.
November.
Yeah.
But something that's really been frustrating me, and I know it goes back to some of like the education of the wedding industry, the amount of people that have asked me, oh, so you're just off for the next 3 months? You're just, what are you going to do with your free time? What are you going to, you're just going to sit there? You're
No.
going to get a part-time job? Like, I sat there in disbelief when I was asked that because, listen, We work weddings.
Yeah.
We still work every single day of the week.
Yeah.
We're still from now, like we work years ahead. We work months. We work so far ahead. We're constantly doing work. Just because our wedding season is over, we're already on to 2025. We're already preparing for 2026. We're still doing work. We are just maybe now
we have weekends off.
We have
That's
one
the
free
only
day.
difference.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Like we were working every single day, maybe probably should, but also just sometimes it doesn't allow for us to have a actual weekend.
Yeah.
We're still working, maybe not an 8 to 5 hourly, but like we're still working 8-10 hour days for every day of the week. It's not like we're just sitting back for the next 3 months doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
If anything, we're working harder in this off season because we have to prepare for next year. Yeah. So I just wanted to step on that soapbox for a second and say,
thank you for saying that.
We are not just sitting here doing nothing. We are still doing our everyday times 10. We are just not going to a wedding. And I will say, like, the weddings itself, they're like 30% of our entire job.
Right.
They don't even make up like half of our job.
Yeah.
Everything we do behind the scenes, everything we're doing day in and day out for our couples, that is way more than just the wedding day itself.
Absolutely.
So
Snaps here.
Woo! Thank you.
I'm glad you
I'll
said
take my
that,
Oscar now.
I feel like when people ask me that, I'm just like literally jaw on the floor, like feels like a punch to the face.
Yes.
Like, okay, I don't know how to explain myself. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, and I can. I'll sit here until I'm blue in the face and tell you, oh, and I did.
Yeah.
I listed off maybe 15 things.
Yeah.
But that in one ear out the other to them sometimes that, and I get it. They don't know what I do, but it's just one of those things where I'm just like, do you understand how disrespectful that feels? I know. I am working my ass off. I'm not, are you just editing today? Just editing?
Yeah.
Oh, just taking a meeting that lasts 3 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, just finding music for a video that takes a week?
Yeah.
Like, it is not just clocking in, clocking out. I'm just on vacation mode. We just now have time to pour into ourselves a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And to pour into ourselves behind the scenes. Because I feel like the entire wedding season itself, we're just doing our best. We're getting by. We're still going above and beyond. But now is time to reflect and get prepped for next year.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you guys. That has been on my mind so much in the last week that I've been telling people like, no, this is actually my last one. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I don't have another one till March. They're like, wow. Oh, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm going to do this. I'm
going to do my job.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing my job.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
all that to say, all that to say, I'm great. No, the last 2 weekends personally for me have just been a whirlwind and a half. I've had 2 weddings, one in Arkansas, one here in Kansas City.
I forgot
the Arkansas wedding happened.
It was the most
stunning.
beautiful, amazing day ever. I got to travel with Caroline. I'm always going to call her Caroline Mayer. She's Caroline Sheridan now. Because she's married.
She is married, yeah.
Got to have some just like quality time with her. We hadn't seen each other in months. Got to have a wedding day together. And just got to celebrate some really great people in the last 2 weeks. And then this past Saturday was my best friend from college. So ending with her, Abby did her makeup in the morning, which was so special. That was just so special to me and to us, and to share a wedding day with my sister. I'm like, this is so cool. And then Holt got to come for a little bit, and I got to see so many people from college. It was just like the best way to end it. So,
aw, good. I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
How fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. What else? Anything else? You went to the Chiefs game, which was very exciting this past weekend.
Oh my goodness.
About had a heart attack.
Did you?
Yes, it was.
Can you believe that they missed that?
Dude.
Or we blocked it, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, and it was in our end zone right in front of us. So we literally watched it. And I took my cousin Jack, and he recorded it because he was like, what are the odds they just miss it? And he recorded it, and it, like, watching it back is like the most hilarious thing because both of our faces are just like,
what happened?
like,
Everybody's
what just
just
happened?
stunned.
Everyone was just in shock. It was so cool to be there and be a part of it. And it was just so fun. I love noon games.
Yeah.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
Right.
They're really fun. So we had a really good time.
Good.
Yeah.
I was telling Zach, I was like, I think the reason that we're undefeated, besides being great, but have you noticed that Mahomes' new thing this season that he says when he's like about to snap it. He goes, "Witty." I'm like, that is so distracting.
I don't know if I paid attention.
You haven't noticed?
No.
I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds and it's in its little like Kermit the Frog voice. If I was on the other team and I heard that, I would be like, what? Where am I? And I would not pay attention.
I'll have to ask Hope that.
You'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, because if you attend the games, you wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
No. I'm sure they would on TV.
No, this is the first season that he's done it. And it's,
wow.
Yeah, I swear that has something to do with it.
See, I have another theory.
And nobody's talking about this.
No,
like, does anybody else hear him?
Sarah's like, why is this not all over the internet right now?
It's so funny.
You get it started, Sarah. You get it started.
Well, that's why I had to say it on here.
That is funny.
Now I have to
pay attention.
I know. Yeah. I have my
You're going to hear it and you're going to be like, what?
Like,
it's distracting.
Yeah. In the group chat on Sunday, we're going to be like, oh my God. I'm going to just be like, turn it up this part. I need to hear it.
Yes.
I need to hear it.
Yo, it's something.
That is so funny. Our superstition's my superstition. Not necessarily Holt, but I will say ours because it involves him. I got new socks. They're cute Kansas City ones. Every time I wore them,
are so cute. I know exactly the ones you're talking about.
That, and I got Holt last Christmas, I think. A pair of underwear with my face on it.
Undies. Oh no,
with your face on it.
It's my face, and it's when I had like the Chiefs helmet on, and he took a picture, and I'm going like this.
That's so cute.
It's my favorite thing ever.
Is it like multiple of your faces?
Yeah, I'm all over. I'm all over. It's like hearts and then me with the helmet. So I was like, "Where's the game day underwear?" He's worn them, and we've won. So I'm just saying,
it's the Grace undies.
So. It's the Grace undies and the Grace socks. Well, not the Grace socks, but whatever. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That.
I'm just like, I'm convinced. Yeah. I always ask him, like, you got the game day underwear? He's like, yes. I'm like, all right, good. You're like, take them on the road with you.
Don't take them off. Don't wash them.
If you don't, gross. If he
can't
forgets
wash away that magic.
If he goes on a road game and forgets them, I will personally fly them out there. Or I'll wear them myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll just have to wear them. Yep. It's got to happen.
That's
so we'll see.
Funny.
I love that.
We'll see.
That is funny.
Yay. Okay, so to recap, these next few episodes we're focusing in on one of us per episode, and this episode is all about Sarah,
our main girl.
So Sarah,
yes, here we go.
Lock in. No, I'm just kidding.
Locked and loaded.
Get ready for this.
I mean, first, just start a little bit about like you, like where you're from.
Yeah.
All the things.
Well, I was born in Overland Park Regional Hospital. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, born and raised lived in Overland Park as a little tot, and then we moved to Columbia, Missouri for a little bit. Actually,
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
My dad's job,
already learning stuff.
I was young, like preschool.
Yeah.
My brother was born in Columbia. So yeah, lived in. We're big KU fans too, so that was interesting.
Red Chalk.
Yeah, Red Chalk, baby. But my mom talks about taking me to the grocery store in a little like Jayhawks outfit, and but people like yelling at me as a baby.
Oh, because you're in Columbia.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So that was fun. So that's where my trauma started.
All right, so we're getting into it now. Let me skip about 8 questions ahead.
No. But then we moved to Olathe when I was still in preschool. So then. I like to say born and raised, basically, in Olathe. So, went to all the Olathe schools up until I graduated from Olathe Northwest.
Yeah, which direction did you go to? That's what I always like to say.
Yes. I was like, what do you mean?
Which,
I was like,
which direction of the 20 million? Just kidding.
Yeah. I was like right on the cusp, so I could have gone to North or Northwest. So I think my life would have been really, because Zach went to North actually. So it would have been interesting if we went to high school together, but we did not. I went to Northwest and Wow. That's the general.
That's the gist. Okay, well,
growing up.
You're mentioning family. Tell us a little bit more. So you have siblings.
Yep,
Where do you fall in that?
Yep. I am the oldest of 3. I have 2 younger brothers. We're how many years apart? 3 years and then 5 years apart. Nice. And they're my best friends. They're the best. Like growing up, we would of course I would bully them a little bit. They would bully me back, all of that. But we've always been really, really close, and we've always been best friends. So
that was going to be kind of one of my first questions. Like we've always talked about how much we admire and love how close knit your family is. Like especially the relationship you have with your brothers. Like I watch it and I'm just like, you guys do everything together. Like I just love it. Is there would you say there's something that you can equate to that, or something that helped make you guys so close knit, or like how did this come about that you guys just have such a close knit family?
That's a really good question, and I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have an answer to that.
No, that's okay.
I really don't. We just always have been. Family's always just been really important to us. Like just my mom comes from a big family. She's one of, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yep. So she was right in the middle of that. And then, I mean, like my grandparents, like just always were there and present throughout our entire childhood. Like even when we lived in Columbia, they would come out at least once a month just to spend time with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, family's just always been something that's been, it's just kind of ingrained in us that's your family, and this is how family treats each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that. So you have 2 younger brothers. You're the oldest.
Uh-huh.
How does it feel, not only being like the only child, or the only
child.
The only child.
the oldest. Sorry guys, see you later. How does it feel being the oldest, but not only being the oldest, but being the only girl?
I feel like it's made me who I am for sure. Like I'm very much like a leader, kind of like the center of attention at times.
I mean, again, only girl. Yeah.
And I was also the first grandchild on both sides. So I also have that too. So I've just always, like it was just me for 3 years until my brother was born.
Yeah.
So I feel like it definitely made me who I am today. And, you know, I just like kind of had that confidence a little bit right from the start. I mean, obviously there's periods of time where I didn't, but I don't know. It's just always just been who I am. Aww, got that, like I said, like a leader, and they always have, I feel like they look up to me. Hopefully you do.
They do. They definitely do.
Yeah. And just kind of the one to kind of, speak for all of us and make the plans and all of that. It's just, I've been a planner from day one, so
it's in your blood.
It makes sense. Yeah.
How was did you guys always get along? I know obviously as siblings, like there's always a period where you kind of didn't like each other sometimes.
Right.
Healthy amount. But did you guys always have good relationships in middle school, high school too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know we did, because it was always far enough apart. Like I was a senior when Andrew was a freshman. And it was also the first year that freshmen were in high school, because it was junior high at that point. Junior high and high school, and then they switched to middle school and high school. So I think it also just having him be a freshman when I was a senior was so fun, and he got to hang out with all the seniors and be a part of that crowd, which I probably did things that he shouldn't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm he would go to the Hawk when he was 18 and things you gotta
start him young.
Yeah, exactly. But we, like I said, always had the little bit of picking on each other. I would say my brothers would, because they're both boys, they would get in fights out playing sports in the backyard all the time and things like that. But I was never really involved with it. I was always the one that's okay, guys, let's yes, exactly. Just making sure everybody gets along. So
if they if you had to guess if there was something that they loved about having you as their big sister, admired about you, what's something you think they would say about you that they...
Oh gosh.
Ooh. That one I didn't even think of.
No.
What's something you think that they appreciate you for, or maybe have told you, or have just kind of showed you? That's a hard one.
Yeah.
But is there anything that comes to mind that you think
I mean, probably
yourself?
I know that they as far as them seeing my dating life and things like that, I think they really just learned, this isn't necessarily me, but they learned how to treat a woman because of how I was treated in certain situations.
Yeah.
So I think they've always just kind of admired, how much I care and how big of a heart I do have.
Yeah.
And they definitely are the same way, probably because I was that way, and that's just what they saw. So maybe that.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Good. I'm what's the right answer here?
No, whatever you say.
I know, but I don't know.
You said also too, you feel like you being the oldest, you're a leader.
Yeah.
So that has a lot of qualities to it too. I'm sure they looked up. You should ask them. You
I
should,
know. I should
tell, see, because with your guys' age difference and also you just being the only girl in the family, I'm sure there's a lot of things they look up to you about. So I'm curious. You should see.
I know.
What they
I'm
think.
I don't think I've ever actually asked them that question. So because it's kind of what do you love about me?
What do you love about me? I know.
As much as I love being the center of attention, no.
But it is and it's something too, because I feel it's probably so easy for you. I think of my relationship, it's easy for I to be I'm proud of this, and this, and I'm well, I don't feel you get some of the recognition you deserve as the first kid, as the older sibling. So I'm interested to see kind of what they would say, because I feel like you're probably the first to give to people like, hey, I'm proud of you for this, and I love this about you, because you're the protector, you're the one that wants to take care of everyone, whether you being an only child or not. Or only God,
Andrew and Adam, we love you so much.
I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say the only girl, and the oldest child, but just having that kind of in your nature, regardless of you being the oldest. I feel like you deserve to probably hear that. And you guys, again, have such a great relationship that I'm sure you talk about things similar to this or whatnot, but I was just curious.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like as far as their personalities, like Andrew is like, I call him like a man of few words. Like he does, obviously he talks and he's funny and he's outgoing, but like when he does speak, he's very intentional with what he says. So he's the one that will like send like a novel of a text and like just like say the nicest things. Like I remember when he would get in trouble, he would like write letters to my mom and dad and be like, I'm so sorry that I did this, like slide it under their door.
So sweet.
Yeah. So he's just always been like that. And then Adam and I are very much like, as far as like our sense of humor, I would say is the same. Like we're very just like laughy, jokey, like that's our relationship. So it's, as much as I love both of them, it's different relationships with both of them.
Yeah. I love that. To kind of piggyback off brothers. So we've mentioned Sharon, our annual Sharon shout out quite some time. If you guys don't know, that is Sarah's mom.
If you haven't picked up on that.
Yeah, if you haven't,
Where are you at?
Literally. But I know you guys have a really special, close bond, and that's not always the case. I want to hear a little more about that, and then just kind of towards the end, just like some similarities, differences that you guys have.
That's a good question.
I was going to touch on Sharon. Yes.
I love it. It's happening now.
It's happening.
Well, my mom, she's always been an extremely hands-on mom. Like she was a stay-at-home mom for all of us. And she's always just been there, which was amazing. But also I had like, I think that my anxiety really started when I went to preschool and I had to leave my mom. I think it started as separation anxiety because we were so close. And I was just like, wait, I have to like live a life without my mom there. Like, what am I supposed to do? What was the question?
Just your guys' closeness and just talking about that growing up.
And since I don't have a sister as well, I feel like she kind of has always been like that best friend, sister, and mother role, which is why I think we are so close and we are just very similar personalities. We like the same things. But as far as differences, I feel like I help my mom kind of, I don't know, bring her back to reality in some aspects and just like help her know her worth in a way. And that she's beautiful and perfect just the way she is. And I think seeing her, you know, not necessarily struggle with that, but just seeing how she is in that way, it's made me kind of be the opposite. And I have just I don't know the words that I'm looking for. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying because it's like when you start growing up, like obviously you admire your parents, you love them and stuff like that, but it's almost like certain things that they do, like you can kind of learn from that. Like my dad really struggles with anxiety and I didn't realize he struggled so much, and he'll say things to me like I can't go and get like a CAT scan or an MRI or something because I feel claustrophobic, and I'm like, that only makes me want to like push harder on my anxiety and do the things
that he can't.
So it's almost like it encourages you of like, oh, like I've seen you struggle with that and like I feel for you, it's valid. I obviously go through that, but it almost just challenges you to like that is kind of what you were thinking. A little bit.
I had a thought and then I just
I'm sorry.
No,
Here I go, taking over.
But that is exactly what I'm saying. I feel like it also just comes down to like her generation. I feel like her generation is all about putting out like being this perfect person, this perfect image, and it's way more about how others think of you rather than how you think of yourself. So I think that also is just a big difference between the two of us, and I've helped her a lot in regards to that. So
that's amazing.
I love that.
It's like really cool because it's like she raised you, but then again, like there's things that like she needs you for things as well. So it's special to see that.
I do love your guys' relationship. It's such
Thanks.
a cool
Me
one.
too.
To just, like,
I don't
watch.
take it for granted at all because I know that that's not always the case, and I'm so thankful that I still have her and that we are so close.
Is there any like fun differences or similarities? Like if you guys were to walk in a room, do your guys' voices sound the same?
They sound the exact same.
Really?
Yes, we're both very loud.
Yeah.
You look a lot alike.
Yeah.
She's just
you
like the
do.
blonde version of you.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like the Lizzie McGuire movie. Is what I think about when I think of you and your mom.
Hey now.
Hey now.
We need Sharon on the pod.
Yes.
No, I was thinking about that. I
Yeah.
already have an idea for that.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
anyways, yeah, we can talk about that later. Offline. But yeah, I would say though, again, coming back to like the image and all of that, she calls me shock value Sarah. And she's called me that for years because I very much just like I burp very loud and I just like talk about gross things, but they're just normal things.
Yeah, right.
But I just basically have no filter in a way. And I just say whatever's on my mind.
Yeah.
And she's definitely not like that.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's another difference. But
Love it.
Love that. Obviously, your mom could be seen as a role model in your life. Are there like other people in your life also that have just kind of helped shape who you are?
of course.
Who are they?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would say my aunt, my mom's sister. She was always a huge role model to me growing up. I just always admired her. She's, she modeled and just like, she lived in New York, she lived in Japan. Like she was just always, she just like really, and she also was very shy growing up. So the fact that she did do all of that after being the little shy girl, I just always really admired. My grandma, both of my grandmas, but unfortunately one of my grandmas passed away years ago, so I didn't have as much time with her. But my grandma, who is still living, I'm just absolutely obsessed with her. She's just like the sweetest. Oh, I just love her so much. She's just so cute and so nice and just she was probably my favorite person ever as a child. Like going to grandma's house, I would cry when we would have to leave because I just loved being there.
Not to put you on the spot with all these, but
the women in my family. I
it
would
just
say.
shows that you guys are so close, and it's just really cool to see that generations and people in your family are so close.
You guys have a really good foundation.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, nobody's perfect. Like everybody has issues, but absolutely. I would say the foundation is definitely there.
Yeah. All right, Sarah, time to get deeper.
Oh, great.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love going deep.
This question might be kind of...
What are you doing over there?
Is toe tapping? I don't know.
You're like...
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I just am avoiding going deep.
I know.
I'm just drawing attention to you.
It's my bar classes.
Yeah,
look at you, bar girl.
Look at that core strength, baby.
Yeah, she brought that so up and it was just
perfect.
not even shaking.
Thanks, guys.
That's good. All right. So I said kind of like what people in your life have kind of shaped who you are. This is a very like big and broad question at the same time. Are there moments in your life that
oh my God
have shaped?
Oh yeah.
Like what do you kind of go back to? Good and bad. What are some of the moments that have shaped you as a person? Told you, big and broad.
I know, I'm trying to think.
It's a big one. We can always come back to it too.
No, you're okay. Because there's a lot. I just got nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's okay. You can share whatever you want to share.
No, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to go in chronological order.
Yeah. Take us through it.
Right. But I'm like, what is the first one?
Yeah.
When what's the earliest it starts for you? Are we talking like childhood, middle school, high school, college? I
mean, like the really big transformative ones were college. But I mean, dealing with, it comes back to my anxiety again. Yes, it comes back to my anxiety again. Like even like going to elementary school and things like that were very big transformative moments. Again, just because I was terrified. And I remember like days where I would like be sitting outside the classroom in a chair bawling and I had to be like pulled out of the car by teachers to get inside the school because I was so scared to go in.
Yeah.
So I was always just, and it had to do with, of course, the separation anxiety that I mentioned, but then also just my phobia of people throwing up. Like a kid would throw up in class and then I'd be like, I'm not going back. Like I don't feel safe here. Like, which sounds so silly, but it was so real and so like life-changing, altering for me. But one in a good way, it's sixth grade. So I had obviously my elementary school, which was I was just always really anxious. Like I would always like get tummy aches. I didn't really necessarily know what anxiety was at that point, but I would always get tummy aches, but I wouldn't want to go to the nurse's office because people were sick in the nurse's office. So then you're just spiraling in your head all day, just like watching that clock until 3 o'clock hit to leave. But then in 6th grade, I actually was president of my elementary school.
Aww.
Yeah, so I gave a speech
that.
to the entire school and was elected president.
Wow.
So that was a big like confidence booster. I was like, okay, well actually 5th grade I was vice president, so it started there. I know.
She was VP.
Yeah, I was VP, baby. And then I was elected president, and that was really just like, okay, like people like me and I am confident and you know, life isn't so bad. Like, you know, like it's not, you don't need to be, oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I can't speak.
It's okay.
You don't need to be so scared of everything. Like kind of just like that first realization then. So I would say that was a big moment for me just to really like gain confidence. And then as far as like adult life, so college years, my freshman year I went to JUCO. And then I had a boyfriend at the time that was at K-State. And I'm a big KU girly. We didn't hit on that, but like family is huge KU fans. Both my parents went to KU. I just grew up that way. Grew up going to every football game. Not even basketball games, every football game.
That's awesome.
I know. So it was really big that I was like, I want to go to K-State, but I really was only doing it for this boy at the time. And then I was in a shooting in college. The boy I was dating was selling weed, and him and his roommates, and word got around to the wrong person. And when I was over there after work, somebody busted in with a gun and was trying to rob them and ended up shooting one of the roommates. And I was hiding in the closet. And I was the one that had to call 911 and all of that. And that was when I really started to go downhill again as far as my anxiety and just being terrified of the world again. So after that, I ended up moving back home, and then like the agoraphobia, which is fear to leave your house, really kicked in again, which I had that in high school too. Which I guess I could go back to that, but I'm like, as far as transformative moments, that was a big one. And then that was a long process because I had to testify in court, and that was traumatic in itself.
And how old were you when this was happening?
I was 19.
Wow.
18 or 19. I'm trying to think because it happened in 2000.
A kid.
I was 19. So testifying in court was absolutely terrible. They played my 911 call when I was sitting there on the stand.
Holy cow.
I, of course, had a breakdown when that happened. And then that first trial ended up a hung jury. So we had a mistrial. So we had to do a second trial. So that was a good, I don't even know, 3 years of my life dealing with that. So I tried to go to KU during that period. But again, I was just so anxious. I would like try to go to class and I would sit outside the room, but I wouldn't go in. And I ended up dropping out of KU because of that. And I was really just lost at that point in time. I was just like, what am I doing? What am I passionate about? Like all these other kids are like in sororities and, you know, just partying, living it up. And like, of course I was doing like partying and all that too, but that also, I probably shouldn't have been doing that because that just made my anxiety even worse, you know, with the hangover and all that. But I really was just trying to like escape reality at that point in time and trying to do what all the other college kids were doing. But while going through a lot. So yeah, that was a really life-changing moment at that point. And I really didn't have, you know, the normal college experience. When people ask like, oh, where'd you graduate from? I'm like, oh, that's a long story that I don't really want to share with you. But yeah, I ended up going to Brown Mackie College and I got my degree in occupational therapy, assistant. So it was a 2-year associate program because I was like, at this point, I just need to get a degree and need to do something. And then from there, another really big life-altering moment, which I have a lot of shame about and honestly am scared to even say, but it's my truth and my reality. When the day that I found out I passed my boards, I went out and celebrated and had one too many margaritas and I ended up getting a DUI. And at that point, I was just like, okay, like maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing either. So I refused to blow in the breathalyzer because I didn't know what happens when you refuse to blow.
Right.
So since I didn't blow, I ended up losing my license for a year. And then I had a breathalyzer in my car for 2 years after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So because I couldn't drive and I just had, again, so much shame, I didn't end up using my occupational therapy degree. I was bartending at the time, and I'm so grateful that I did do that because I made some of my best friends by doing that, still to this day. But I was really just like, again, lost and like, what am I doing? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because it was like, you think you're making this decision, and then it's like sometimes like you get redirected, but it's in the harshest of ways.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And then of course I just feel terrible for getting the DUI because I'm like, thank God nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of shame around that. Like nobody's proud to say that.
Yeah.
But it's happened. So
Yeah.
And I, now looking back, I'm thankful it did because I wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't. But it was just definitely, my journey has just not been like a straightforward, you go to school, you get the job, you get married. It just wasn't like that for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, that happened. And then I ended up working for my uncle. He gave me an opportunity to work for him in the marketing industry. So that's really how I ended up, you know, getting out of bartending. I was just like, I don't want to be doing this anymore, but I don't know what to do. At this point, my license for OT had expired, but I honestly was, when I was in school, I was kind of like, ooh, like once I really started to learn about what I'd be doing and like the patients I'd be working with, I kind of was like, is this what I really want to be doing? So again, you get redirected in the harshest of ways sometimes, but for the better. And yeah, working for my uncle was an experience.
We're going to go back to
go ahead.
professional career. But first of all, thank you for sharing all of that. 'Cause I know that's a lot. And I mean, all the things you've been through. Obviously, I know we know a good portion of it, but being vulnerable to share all of those things. Thank you for sharing that. I kind of want to go back a little bit.
Go ahead. I'm like, I can tell you my entire life.
We're here for it. We got time. We make the rules. But kind of I want to go back first on the anxiety piece because you brought that up as a child. When did you actually recognize and or were you in a situation to get help that you were told that's what anxiety is? When did you realize it was anxiety?
In elementary school, I ended up having to like meet with the counselor because I was, again, just so terrified to go into school. But then the counselor, like my mom I don't remember this, but my mom tells me that the counselor was kind of trying to like blame it on my home life, which wasn't the case at all. Like it truly wasn't. It was just me. It's just how I've always been. And I don't remember like the first time I ever had anxiety. I think it was when I went to school. I think when I try to think back, but it could have even been before that. But meeting with that counselor, of course she tried to blame it on home life and all of that. And then it kind of like got to, okay, she's just anxious. Like, so that was the first time I really like started thinking about it, but I don't think obviously you don't know what it is when you're that young. You
can be told it, but you don't necessarily understand that that's what you're feeling until maybe later and you reflect back.
But then junior high years were honestly fine. I didn't really have any issues at that point in time. And then high school, it came back again. Pretty freaking strong my junior year of high school, which I'm trying to think of how old I would have been at that point in time.
17?
17?
16, 17. Because then senior
Yeah.
year of high school, you turn 18.
I was probably
You're 17, 18.
Yeah,
so it's
I was a
16,
late
17.
birthday. And then that's when it was just, I wouldn't leave the house. I almost got truancy for school because I missed so much school. I almost wasn't allowed to try out for cheer my senior year because I missed the practices that you had to attend in order to try out. I have to burp.
Let it out.
Excuse me.
This is your episode.
Yeah. Shit. I did it away from the mic. At least.
Hey, you said your mom said your shock value, Sarah.
Well, I get nervous.
Bring it
burps.
on.
Brace it.
There's different types of burps. Hungry burps. Nervous burps.
I'll start paying attention.
They're different. But yeah. And so at that point in time, I started seeing the school psychologist. We created a plan where my first hour was like a study hall. So that way I could show up late. I could go to the bathroom as much as I needed without like feeling like I can't leave the room.
Feeling trapped.
Yeah. So I think just starting my day with that really helped. And then I also went on anxiety meds that year as well. which I am no longer on today. I definitely have moments where I'm like, should I be back on them? Is it too much? But I feel like I now know how to cope and how to manage it. And of course, there's always going to be days where it wins, and then I just need to hunker down and, you know, just take care of myself and ride the wave. But now I know that anxiety doesn't control me. Like it's not me. Like I have anxiety, but it doesn't define me.
Right.
But yeah, saw this school psychologist, got on meds, and then my senior year ended up being great. So at that point in time, it was really good again until the shooting. So it's really just been an up and down roller coaster.
By seeing like your grade school counselor to then the high school, you said
psychologist,
the high school psychologist, has that at all like kind of shaped your perspective on therapy? Because that's kind of two different experiences.
I'll be honest, I don't even remember anything that they really ever said to me.
Yeah.
Like I think I was still just so in my head during those meetings and things that I don't. I mean, clearly, maybe I took something away from it, but I don't remember anything.
As an adult, like, do you want to go to therapy? Do you think it's something that would help you?
Of
or
course.
Like what?
It goes back to what you said. I'm like, it's expensive.
I forgot what I said.
You said it's expensive.
I can't afford it.
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, it's like putting yourself first and like spending money on things like that is important.
But that's a big one. That's hard to.
Right. But I also just feel like I have a great support system now, and talking about it helps so much. So I feel like I don't necessarily need it, but of course anybody would benefit from it. But I also think you have to find the right person. So that's a whole process that gives me anxiety to think about. Like, what if this person isn't right? And then I waste time and money. And it's just like, I don't know if I necessarily want to go through that process. And also just the things that come out during therapy, like that's so draining. So
yeah.
I have one question, and then I'll let you answer, and then I have another one. But is there anyone in your family that also suffers from anxiety?
Not to my extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just really me. And that was also hard because I don't think my parents necessarily, like, bless them, they did the best they could, but they would kind of force me to do things.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that helped. It kind of made it worse. Yeah. But they were just like, it's okay. Like, you're fine. But it's like, no, I'm not. Like, I can't just be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they didn't really know how to help. They were just doing whatever they knew was best at the time.
Exactly. Right. Like, oh my gosh. I keep doing that. It's okay. Like, I remember I talked about being pulled out of the car by teachers. I remember like running around the kitchen table and like my parents having to trap me to get me out, to even get me in the car, and just being like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm scared. I don't want to go. And they're like, what are you scared of? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just scared and I don't want to go. So,
it's still kind of crazy to this day that you're the only other person that I know suffers from the same anxiety I have. Do you know anyone else besides me?
I feel like I can't like name anybody, but I remember meeting somebody at some point in time who did have the same phobia, and I was like, oh,
well,
okay. So and I felt so much shame talking about it.
You do. I don't know why, because you feel so silly. Like, oh, I'm scared to throw up.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'm scared to
somebody's going to throw up.
Yeah. That sounds so silly saying it out loud, but it's like, that's literally been my whole life. Like, I've been scared the entire time. Like, it puts me in panic attacks. Agoraphobia at times, like all the things. But I really do think it is maybe more common. Obviously, I know not everyone just is like, hey, I have this anxiety, like da-da-da. But when I first started listening to podcasts, like when my anxiety got really bad, I realized like that was one of the top things they would mention was like scared. So that made me feel like less alone, because other than you, like I've never met anyone else that would be that terrified. And so that kind of leads me into my next question. So when you and Zach started dating, and him knowing your anxiety, seeing you have panic attacks, saying, I can't go out today, or I feel anxious, can we go home? Like, how did he handle all that? How does that, like, I just feel like that's a big thing in a relationship. I know with Mitch, he was like, he didn't understand it because he doesn't have anxiety. And I just remember, it wasn't like a make it or break it in a relationship. He just wanted to help me, but didn't know how to. But it can be a make it or break it for some people. Like, you think of taking on their anxiety and how it can affect you every day, every other day. You don't know when you're on vacation, when you're out and about, you just never know. So like, how has that been in your guys' relationship?
Yeah. Well, even just going back before Zach, like I was just very thankful. I've hit on my high school boyfriend before. I'm so thankful that I had him because he would come into my house every single morning. Like I'd be crying and he would be like, it's okay. We're just going to take our time. I'd ride with him to school. Like he was amazing at dealing with it. So then it went from that to then my boyfriend after him was the one that was not so amazing and really put me through a lot and honestly made my anxiety a lot worse. So then it was even more of a shock to just be like, oh my gosh, like not everybody is this like kind and considerate and caring and understanding. Like what? This is all I've ever known. So then it was a whole process, obviously, before getting to Zach. Well, I guess it's not obvious, but dated a lot of people before meeting Zach. One of them I remember in particular, he was like, you're a hypochondriac, like just like just hitting you where it hurts. And it's like
just being manipulative.
I'm like, well, yeah, I am, but also you never want to leave the house, so I never leave the house, so then my anxiety's worse. Like you're not helping me. You know, you're not lifting me up, making me a better person. But then with Zach, at that point in time when we first started dating, I was in a really good place. So I've done a lot of work on myself, so many self-help books, like without the therapy still, like just really took the time to like understand myself and the way I think and how I can cope with things. Of course I have my moments and I have panic. I remember the first time I had a panic attack with Zach. We were in the car and I was just so overwhelmed. I remember we were leaving to go out of town the next day and I was so behind on work at my current job and I just felt like I couldn't catch up. And I just had a full-blown panic attack in the car and he was like, thought I was like joking at first. And he was just like, oh, wait, no, she's really not okay right now. So it definitely took him time and I think he's still learning. And I just try to teach him. I'm like, when you say this in response to me acting this way, it makes me feel this way. And he'll be like, he actually wants to learn. Obviously, he's my husband, so he cares. So he has just kind of, I've helped him learn how to deal with me and tell him what I need. So and he's amazing. So
and he doesn't suffer from like any anxiety.
He's suffered from depression.
Gotcha.
But not anxiety.
Gotcha.
So he doesn't fully understand like the whole, you know, the way my brain works and how it's just like panic, worry. What if? He's just like, it's okay. And I'm like, okay. I know it's okay, but it's not okay.
He can't relate, but he's trying to learn and understand.
Absolutely.
So kind of going back into obviously again those big major parts of your life that have shaped you, how did you get through that? How did you get through either those or other things? Like were there people there to help you do that or was it yourself? How did you get through those big parts?
Yes, there were lots of people in my corner and I'm so thankful. Like I've always had really strong friendships. Obviously, my family dynamic has always been extremely strong. So they've always been so supportive, even though they maybe didn't necessarily know how to deal with me, especially as a kid. They learned and have always been there and were more patient as, you know, time went on and things like that. But in high school, all of my teachers, junior year, I always go back to junior year because that was the transformative big year for me. All of them were so understanding. And I just remember feeling so much better just knowing that they knew what was going on. But I had one teacher in particular who was my English teacher. And he encouraged me as our end of the year like project. We all had to write a paper and read it out in front of everybody. And I wrote it about my anxiety and my phobia. And I remember just like standing up and reading that in front of the whole class and being like, this is why I missed so much school this year. Just feeling so much like pride in myself for just speaking my truth. So yeah, I feel like everybody, honestly, who I've encountered has been so supportive when you just open up. So I'm very grateful that again, I have that family dynamic and those deep rooted friendships that are still my best friends to this day. And then of course, going back to high school again, just having that relationship that I had, I don't think I would have been the person I am today if I didn't. So
what is something like you're proud of yourself looking back on those situations? Like what are you proud of yourself for after coming out of those? For getting through it or anything?
I'm proud of myself for continuing to be just such a positive light. I feel like a lot of people when they hear this, they're like, what? Like that happened to you? That's how you are.
Never know.
Yeah. So I'm just proud of myself for not letting it define me, and just overcoming it.
Yeah.
And speaking up.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I'm really proud of you.
Same
I'm proud to
too.
know you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And the influence you've had on us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. The impact you've had on us is huge. So thank you for sharing.
Well, it's
that.
awesome, just amazing how you can have that mindset, because from someone who also suffers anxiety, you never know when it's going to happen. Like you said, you had maybe hard years in like grade school, and then maybe middle school was okay, and then high school came back on, and then maybe senior year was better. Like you literally never know, and that's so scary throughout life, because I don't know, at least for me, like I just feel like it is scary. You just never know what you're going to go through and when it can come back. So it's like to still have that positive light and like try and see the good and work on yourself and encourage others that are going through it. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
We love you for that.
We love
Thanks.
you so much.
Love you both.
Yeah.
So much.
Is there something you would like tell that Sarah, that season of Sarah? Ooh. Either grade school, middle school, high school, college. Is there something you would tell her?
Tell her that you shouldn't feel shame for the decisions that you made, because it all led you to where you are today. I would tell her that you don't need somebody else to make you feel your worth.
Yeah.
I feel like I did a lot of, I kind of hit on this, but just kind of like a serial dater. Like I always wanted to have a boyfriend because I think I felt like I needed support, even though I wasn't necessarily getting support from some of the guys that I dated. But I would have just told her that you don't need that. Like you're okay on your own. Your worth isn't, you're not going to find your worth in another person. And I would just tell her, and I remind myself of this all the time. I'm like, you can't let a small moment like it shape your hang on.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, we know where you're going.
I can't just sit there and stew about one little moment and let that, shape the rest of my life.
Right. There's so much more.
Or be fearful that it could happen again.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I like that. I love that.
Thanks.
I'm thinking of how like now I want to, because I'm going to kind of start to transition into like career.
Okay, do it.
So we're just gonna
hard left.
We're just gonna skirt a little bit. Well, because you kind of started touching on the progression of your professional career, especially after college, and kind of finding out who you were and what you wanted to do with your life. So kind of take us back there of you said obviously you passed your boards, but then you realized after everything that had happened, you don't want to use your degree. So like then what direction did you go in and how did that all unfold?
Well, my uncle ended up hiring me, which working for family was interesting. But I was very grateful that he gave me an opportunity, especially without having a degree in marketing. So I could have that experience and, have that on my resume.
Yeah.
And it was tough when I told him I was leaving.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but we got through it and I knew it was the right decision for myself. I ended up working at another marketing agency, web design company, which I think I maybe have talked about this before, but I really liked the culture there. But then COVID hit and I was just like, what am I doing? I'm not looking forward to doing this every day. I don't get anything out of this. So then I saw that, we got engaged. That's what happened next. We got engaged. And at that point, we started meeting with vendors. And I really learned about the wedding industry. Started following a bunch of accounts. Saw that a venue company.
That our previous
employer was hiring. And just held out until they offered me a position. I remember there was one position that was open for like full time, and it went to somebody else, and that broke me. I thought it was me. I felt it in my bones. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know this is the right time and the right place. And then it wasn't me. And that was really hard because I was like, okay, well, now what? Am I just going to stick with this job that I'm not passionate about at all? And then ended up getting the call that there was another position that was opening. And I got that one. So that was great. I was like, thank you. I knew I was supposed to be here.
I'm here for a reason.
Yes, exactly. So did that. And then that was an experience in itself. Absolutely. Obviously meeting you and the other girls was amazing.
Yeah.
And there were so many amazing things about it. And there was also so many not so amazing things about it.
Yeah.
And then I knew it was my time to leave and I wanted to get into the planning side of things.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
You have to be the right person at the right time. I remember I just reached out to another person in the industry who had a lot of connections. And I was like, hey, do you know of anybody hiring planners right now? I really think it's something I'd be interested in doing. She gave me Corey's number. So I reached out to Corey. And she was like, oh, not right now. Maybe one day we're going to expand, but not the right time.
And then she met you.
Yeah.
She was like, oh,
I need her.
Yeah. So then she was having an event at one of our venues. And I just went up to her and I was like, hey, I'm the girl that texted you. So nice to meet you.
Yeah.
At this point, I had already given my notice. And I was like, I will figure it out.
Yeah.
I know I will, but I can't be here any longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was willing to take, obviously talk through it with Zach, looked at finances. Can we
Yeah.
do this?
Yeah.
And we were like, yep, for my mental health, it's time.
Yeah.
So I just held on to hope that the right thing would fall into place. And once I met Corey in person, she was like, oh, okay. Well, do you want to get coffee? And I was like, yeah, I would love to.
I do.
And we went, got coffee, and the rest is history. She offered me the job. And that's what I've been doing ever since. So
How long ago is that? How many years now have you been with Composure?
guys, I'm so bad with time.
I am too.
It
That's why I'm
was,
asking.
it was 2022 that I started. Like, I think February, March of 2022.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
do that math.
Everyone else do that math. I'm not doing the math. It's like 2-ish years.
Yeah. It'll be 3 years here soon.
In 2025. Yeah. That's awesome.
That is amazing. Yeah.
So working at Composure, working with Corey, hand in hand, is there anything like you've taken away from her or learned from her as like a business owner?
Yeah, everything. Everything. I didn't know anything about wedding planning.
Yeah.
She taught me everything I know. So I'm like, I can't pick one thing, literally everything.
Yeah.
All of it.
Just how it all works, how to, give great customer service, great hospitality, all of that.
What is the most fulfilling part of being a wedding planner?
Ooh.
How'd you hit you with one and then come back and hit you with a big one?
Like, ooh, the most fulfilling. I mean, just seeing it all come to life
Yeah.
is always just so fun. It's like you plan and you put all the pieces together, but I feel like a lot of the time couples are like, I think it's going to be good, but they don't necessarily know how good it's going to be until they see it. And just getting that thank you at the end of it all and just, knowing that you made this happen for them and gave them one of the best days of their life up until that point, the best day of their life.
Yeah.
And then just the friendships that also come out of it. It's like you're spending a lot of time, you're like their person that they're going to during the season of their life, and giving them ease and peace of mind throughout it all. So just all the people that you meet along the way as well.
Yeah. Is there something you would tell either your current brides or future brides that you wish they would know or understand before they start?
Yeah, just to trust me. Honestly, I care so much more than I should.
She does so much.
Too much,
We've
honestly.
seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah, I truly want their day to be perfect. And I will lose sleep if it's not. And it's never bad. It's never disaster. But if one little thing happens, I'm like, oh, I should have caught that. Or I wish I would have done this. I care a lot. So just to trust me, and just let on the actual day be present. Again, comes down to trust. Let me do my job. I promise you I will do it and I will do it well.
Yeah.
Above and beyond. Even what they think is going to happen, it's going to be 10 times
And that's
better.
the worst part.
I strive for perfection.
Right. And that's the perfectionist in me.
Yeah.
It has to do with being probably the only daughter, being the oldest, goes back to that. I am a perfectionist to my core and I'm working on not being a perfectionist because it's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't I think the worst thing, like my biggest fear is like letting people down, which I know we're working on that with not being people pleasers. But I'm like, I don't want people to be let down. Like, I don't want them to be disappointed in me. Like, I truly try to give over 100%.
And you do every time.
Yeah.
Every single time. We've seen it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
We see it more than anyone, but also we've literally seen it.
I could literally never do it. I did so much. Like, you were the mastermind behind it all the details, all the calls, the texts, the just being present with all of them, all your couples all the time. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I feel like as vendors too, obviously we're friends, but like we're not the only ones that say how much we enjoy getting to work with you.
Oh,
like obviously I love a wedding day with you for multiple reasons because we are friends outside of it. But also like there's people that know you that don't have the relationship we have that love when they see that you're the planner because they know they're in a safe place, they're going to be taken care of, their job's going to be made easier. Like they know that they themselves are taken care of. So if we feel good, I can't even imagine how your couples feel.
Right. And not only that, like I want everybody to have fun on the day. Like I want every vendor to have a great day. I don't want it to just be about the couple. I want everybody there to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at that award right there.
I was going to say, like, that was a shock. Like, genuinely. I did not. What are you laughing?
Taylor and I were laughing about this when we were in New York.
Tell it.
We're sitting there getting ready for the gala. And Abby's doing her makeup. We're hanging out. And then I go, oh, wait, Sarah, you were nominated for that, the Golden All-Star. God, I get the Golden Star and the All-Star confused. It's like, you were nominated for that. And I was like, oh, wait, they don't announce those those aren't finalists. Like, you just can win.
Yeah. Day up.
And the second Sarah just goes, what? The panic in her face. She was like, I was having a great time. I wasn't nervous until now. And then after you won was probably one of the highlights of my like friendship with you.
Yeah.
It was so funny how she was just sheer panic mode.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not even going to think about it. Right. Like, I'm just going to have fun. And then I drank a little too much. Like, and it's one of the last awards of the night.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
You weren't the only one that had drank too much at that point.
I know. But I was like, I have nothing prepared. Like, nothing. Because I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go and enjoy myself. Yeah. If it happens, it happens. And then I was like,
and it happened.
That was so freaking funny. Yeah. And I just loved watching you walk up to the stage and being so close to you. And I was like recording and you were just like, I'm like, this is Sarah. I want everyone to see Sarah. God, that was it was so cool to see you win that because you deserve that.
Yeah,
you deserve that so much.
Right. And I wasn't expecting it. I genuinely wasn't like,
which is good. Honestly.
I know.
Better.
Yeah. So it was really nice just to know like, okay, other people think I'm doing a great job. Like they enjoy working with me. Like it's not just, the people who know and love me already.
Right.
It's like other people like me too.
They recognize it. Yes.
Yeah. It was really validating. So
good.
Yeah.
I have a funny thing that this is gonna go off script. This is gonna be taken cut out. But the other funny part, when you realized and you panicked, you were like, did you take like an edible or a weed gummy? I took it. She goes, oh fuck, I wouldn't have taken an edible if I thought that. So not like that extra layer of her walking on stage and I'm like, she's kind of drunk and she took an edible and she's on fucking stage in front of 900 people.
I go, I'm just in a daze right now.
And I'm like, she is. I laughed so hard.
I was like, I took an edible. I have a confession.
I wouldn't have done that. That was truly my favorite part. That was truly my favorite part when she said that, when we panicked her. And that's what Taylor brought up.
You can leave it in. It's legal. I don't care. I don't care.
I was like, oh, fuck.
No, I was like, Grace, I already took it.
It's already in my system. I can't do anything.
And I'm not going to make myself throw
up. Yes. That's not an option. It is staying in my system.
That was so...
No, but honestly, though.
Oh, man.
That was such a fun time. That was so fun. Getting to see you after that and hug you. And I was just like, I look back at those photos that we were trying to take.
Yes.
And all of us were a little tipsy. A little
tipsy. A little bit more than tipsy.
Fun. Some more than others. We won't name names. It
was an open bar, okay?
Yeah. We paid for an open bar.
We're taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fun night. We all deserved it.
Yes.
No, literally,
it's our time to
let loose.
Yes, exactly.
Which I did.
As you should.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I have like a funny question, not a deep one.
Yeah.
Do you have any work related?
Do you have any deep ones?
Any deep ones? Mine's like a surface level question.
Only question I was going to ask you is, so I know that you like obviously work weddings a lot.
Yes, I do. You are right.
Good job, Doug.
That is correct. Sometimes.
I meant to say weekends a lot with your weddings, correct. And then you also have your evenings sometimes for meetings with people.
Oh yeah.
Well, Zach's schedule is completely opposite. He works the normal, probably 8 to 5. Like, how do you guys manage that? How do you make time for each other? I mean, I know you guys see each other every day, but like when you're working weddings on weekends, like that is his free time. Like, how has that mentally been for you?
Yeah, honestly, it hasn't been an issue for us. Zach works from home most of the time. He has to go in the office 2 days a week now.
Okay.
So even when I am working during the day, we're both in the same house. So we see each other. We stop and we have lunch together. We'll go on walks together. So we spend a lot of time together. So when I am away on a wedding day, he's probably just like sitting there watching football, like at this point in the year. So it hasn't ever been an issue for us.
Yeah.
Because also, he moved in, going back to when we were first dating. Before we were engaged, he moved into my apartment. And then that was January 2020. And then lockdown happened March 2020. Oof. Yeah. So we have always just had a lot of time together. Like at that point, we were in a 1-bedroom apartment, both working from home. He would work in the bedroom. I would work in the living room.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's just, we've always had a lot of time together.
Good.
And we've never struggled to, keep that connection. So
Good.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But he has been like planning little date days and things like that when I don't have a wedding. And
So
we're good about, we like ebb and flow. Like sometimes we're really bad about it. And then he's like, oh, I need to be better about planning these things
the
for
fact
you.
that he does that though.
I know. And the fact that he acknowledges that without me having to say that,
right,
I think is also huge. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love you guys so
but
much.
yeah, we're great. We see each other a lot.
Yeah.
So
good.
No
we're
shortage
obsessed
of
with each
time.
other. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
literally.
love that. It's so
So
cute.
it's not been an issue at all.
Good.
It just happens naturally.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wedding wise, if they're, and I know who you're going to answer already, maybe, potentially. I don't know why I rolled my eyes. I
don't know my answer.
No, I don't know why I rolled my eyes. If there was a celebrity wedding, past or present, you could attend and or plan, whose would it be and why?
Taylor Swift and Travis
see.
Kelce.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I was going to be like, excluding those two.
Yeah.
Not that they would get married here.
I mean, no.
I mean,
Right.
No.
Oh, the second he leaves the Chiefs, they're out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Don't tell me that.
Why? Because it's Taylor Swift and Travis
Why?
Kelce.
Because I knew that was going to be it, but I was like, I'm going to ask her anyway. Just in case she had one that she was like, oh. I just didn't know.
That's the only one that comes to mind.
That's fine. It's going to be a banger.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a banger.
Right.
It'll be a good one.
That'd be an endless budget, and we could do so many cool things.
It'd be insane.
Uh-huh.
I know. Wow.
That was my last wedding question.
Yay.
I did have a question. Wait, what was it? Because I think I had two that were similar. Hold on.
Should we ask her question? Is there a lie you want to get off your chest?
I did say, is there anything you did that was sneaky or risky that you got away with?
Ooh.
Or a lie you want to admit to?
Recently? Or just in life?
In life.
I have to think about that.
I did have that. What lie do you want to get off your chest? You asked me that last week, and I was like, does she know something I don't know? I'm like, fuck, did I do something?
I just said confidently. I said
Grace, is there a lie? Did I lie to Sarah? I'm like, literally in my mind, I'm like, did I do something? Is she about to like come at me with something that I'm not remembering? No.
That's a hard one. The question was a lie?
A lie,
You said something else.
sneaky, something risky.
Risky.
That you got away with?
Ooh. You guys, there's nothing in my brain. I know
That's
there's.
a hard
I know
one to
there's
go to the
things. There's
depths
got
of
to
your
be
brain for.
something.
We can come back to it if you want.
If you think of something, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Let me
start
think
talking
for a second.
Yeah. What's something that you hope doesn't exist in 20 years?
Oh.
I have one that's kind of similar to it that could also be a thing.
Doesn't exist in 20 years.
It's a long time.
I know. I would say let's go back to body image and beauty standards. I would hope
It goes into my next.
Does it?
question.
Well, how did you know that was going to be my answer? Yeah, I would just hope that every little girl knows that they are beautiful just the way they are, and there's not that standard that's been set. And yeah.
That my question was going to be, what is a societal standard you wish never existed or you could wipe out completely?
That one.
That.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm going to, which is good. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Then I'm going to go back. What tangible item do you wish to not exist in 20 years?
Oh, tangible item.
Like something physical.
No, I know what a tangible item is.
I know. I'm just trying to give you, trying to help.
gosh, a
I was
tangible
thinking about this
item.
and I was thinking what I would say. So that's why
Guns.
it's a good one.
Honestly,
That's a good one.
let's just get rid of them all. We don't need them.
All right. Good one. I
Yeah.
like it.
I don't like violence.
Violence.
I mean, especially dealing with what I dealt with.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean,
no,
That's a good
get
one.
them out of here.
Yeah.
You know what? If people want to get a bow and arrow and shoot at each other with a bow and arrow, I would rather that.
That's such a skill. That's
Yeah.
so
Mitch had a
hard.
bow and arrow. I don't
That's
know if
fine.
he still has it, but
That's
I don't know what he
awesome.
wanted it
He
for.
would
It's
be a
just
bow and
Mitch.
arrow
He
cool
wanted
guy.
Something.
Yeah.
Bow and arrow cool
Katniss.
guy. But I can't even like pull it back. Like
No.
it's so hard.
That's what I'm saying.
whichever one
That's a
he
lot
had.
harder to perfect than going beep,
Yeah.
boop, boop,
Right.
got killed.
Beep boop. Beep, boop.
Like, let's just not have
Yeah.
them. Let's just get them out of here. They're too powerful.
Yep. I like it.
I'm still trying to think of
I
something
know.
risky that I did recently.
Anything
Thinking of a question.
extremely embarrassing that has happened to you that
Oh God!
tell the world about?
Okay, that could be my. Guys, this is so embarrassing.
this is
ready.
what we're here
is it?
for.
And it has to do with bodily functions.
It's okay.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Okay.
I
Really,
think I know what it's
it
gonna
really scarred me. It scarred me for life too. So 7th grade.
oh no.
Yeah,
Not those years.
yeah. Transformative.
That's all you gotta say.
Literally transformative.
All you gotta say.
And can't believe I'm telling the world this, but it's fine.
You heard it here first.
I was walking into school and I sneezed
Oh no.
and I pooped my pants.
Oh no.
Okay, so it gets worse. So, not a formed one.
Oh
Yeah.
but not a formed one.
So I had gym first hour. I was late, luckily, but everybody is coming up the stairs. I am going down the stairs to the locker room with shit in my pants. Okay, so I get down there and I'm like, what do I do? So I change out of my poopy clothes into my gym clothes. I get poop on the seat, like it's on the bench, like it's traumatic. Okay, I don't have a.
I'm dying.
You guys, I don't have a cell phone at the time. I don't have a cell phone, so I'm like,
don't have clothes.
I've got to get out of here. Like, what do I do? So I go through all the lockers until I find one that's unlocked, and I find a phone. And I call my mom. I was like, Mom, you have to come get me right now. I just pooped my pants walking into school. I can't be here. I have poopy pants in a bag. Like, it's terrible. I don't even know where I found the bag. I must have had it in my locker. Like, maybe I had my gym clothes in like a plastic bag or something. I found like a Target bag, put my poopy clothes in that. Instead of just like, leaving the school,
Yeah.
I go to the office. Because I'm a people pleaser and a rule follower. And I'm sitting in the office in my gym clothes with a bag of poop. Bag of poopy pants. And it smells. And my crush is sitting right next to me.
Your
You
crush.
cannot make this up. He was like a year older.
It's like a movie.
Yeah. I'd never seen him, never talked to him. But he was like,
you said, I thought I don't know why I thought the soda crush.
no.
I was like, are you going to drink it next?
No, my crush, who was a year older.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
And so I'm sitting there and the office attendant's like, can I, what do you do? I was like, oh, my mom's coming to get me. I'm sick. I've got to go. So I'm just sitting there with my poopy pants in a bag next to my crush.
Oh my god.
And I didn't go back to school that day.
I wouldn't either.
And it honestly scarred me for life. I was terrified it was going to happen to me again.
Yeah.
So
Be honest, Sarah. Was this last week?
no, I have definitely
Did your
shit my
mom have
pants
to come
since
pick you
then.
up? Oh,
but
yeah.
that was
Have we
by
all?
far the worst. It was a full on, literally poop my pants.
That is a horror story. We should have saved that for the Halloween episode.
Yeah, well, it didn't
Oh my
happen at a wedding. Thank
gosh.
God.
Good.
I was going to say I have a question. So that kind of, thankfully, I feel like I don't have digestion issues.
You don't got
Most
what we
of the
got.
time, I
Yeah.
have the anxiety, but
It's
to
hard.
have both, Like,
they play on each other
because there are times where literally I'll psych myself out during an anxiety tech, and I'm like, my stomach feels like it's upset because I'm literally pushing my body.
Your nervous system is connected to your stomach, so like you can make yourself. This is gross. But have like loose stools and all of that when you are anxious.
And that always happens to me. So I'm like, then that starts to be another fear. So then I got the fear of throwing up, fear of pooping. Like, that's a lot, Sarah.
Girl, I know. And it literally happened.
I'm so proud of you, though.
7th grade.
Taking it on. Like, oh my gosh.
I know. It was bad. And I don't know. Like, and then, while I'm like on the phone, I think I'm the only one in the locker room. Somebody just like walks out. So they heard it all. Go away! I know. Go away.
You know who you are if you're listening.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was because I was mortified. But there was somebody that was in that gym. I know, in that locker room that was also late. Oh, just hearing me on the phone. Mom, I pooped my pants.
Hopefully they can relate. Hopefully they have a similar issue.
Like, been there, done that. Yeah. Poor girl.
Yeah, it genuinely like became a fear of mine.
Yeah.
So then I had the fear of throwing up and shitting myself. So it was really just I
look at the woman you've become.
I know.
Look at all that you have overcome.
That's what I'm saying. I truly have. I'm proud of myself.
You should be. That is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. That could also be that's also my secret.
You got away with it.
Yeah.
You got away with it.
That's a double answer to your question.
Fine, that works. I was hoping that was going to bring something up. So there you go.
It sparked it in me.
Oh man. The sneeze caused it all.
It did. It was terrible.
Sneaky sneezes.
It's absolutely
Sneaky
terrible.
sneezes.
Shitty sneezes.
Literally. Oh my god.
Sneaky shitty sneezers.
Those were all of my questions.
I don't have any more.
Well, I feel like you guys got it all out of me.
Literally.
Literally. The good, the bad, the ugly, the stinky.
All of it. I would expect nothing less for an episode of Sarah.
No, literally, I'm pretty gross.
Thank you for... Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know.
We need to start using that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing everything today, Sarah.
Of course. Thanks for asking. Great questions.
Yeah. How do you feel? How did you feel?
I feel good. We'll see how I feel when like it's out there.
Yeah.
But it is my truth, and that's this is all just me. So.
Yep. That's what I said at the end of last episode. I was like, I'm gonna be nervous sitting here right now. I'm terrified for people to listen.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to exactly what you just said, what you said to me. If that's your truth, it is your life, and like you said last week too, like it's gonna help people that you have no idea.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, other people poop their pants.
Exactly.
Everyone poops.
I mean, as many commercials as I've seen on TV, I'm like, every other person I know has got to be going through it. Like,
no, literally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the last thing I have to ask.
Oh.
Not ask.
Okay.
A request.
Oh.
Because it is the Sarah episode. Please sing us out your favorite song or one that you're just loving right now.
Oh.
I know Mr. Brightside's like your karaoke song, but just sing us out, Sarah.
Okay, I'm trying to think of something I haven't already sang.
And everyone look forward to next week, because next week we get to talk about Dom.
Yay!
Yay!
Little old Dom. Okay. This is a pressure.
I know, I put you...
This is probably the hardest
question.
question.
What were you singing earlier? What was that harmonizing you were doing?
Oh, I'm not doing that. The intro to Rivals.
She's like, no.
What is that?
That one.
What is Rival? Is that
It's a show. It's a really good show. If you guys have not watched it, Rivals. I can't remember what streaming network it's on, but it's really good. Zach and I just watched it. Okay, so I've been loving Sabrina Carpenter's album.
Yes.
Of course. So I'm going to go. Wait, why can I not even think of the one that I love? I sang it that one time.
It was last time we were
here.
here.
It last time,
Which one was it?
I don't know. They're all good.
I can't think of any song. There's nothing in there.
Look it up.
Oh, it's hang on.
I'm like, it's not the basics.
No, it's my favorite.
It's not Good Graces. It's
no.
You
guys, there's nothing in my brain right now. It's completely
Is
drained.
it Taste? Is it
Nope.
Juno?
Nope.
Oh, I thought it was Juno. Coincidence.
No.
Bedchem.
Nope.
Espresso. Dumb Photo.
Nope.
Slim Pickens.
Nope.
Girl, we're almost done with the album.
Go from the beginning.
Taste.
No.
Please, please, please.
No.
Good Graces.
No.
Sharpest Tool.
Yes.
Oh, Sharpest Tool.
Yeah. We were going right, then you took a left me with a lot of shit to second guess. Guess I wasted another year. I'm wondering if that was casual, then I'm an idiot. I'm looking for an answer in between the lines. Lying to yourself if you think we're fine. You're confused and I'm upset, but We never talk about it.
That was so good.
And you knew all the words. Oh my gosh.
That was so good.
Thank you so much.
so impressed.
Nobody joined in.
She's like, I'm in my
I wasn't going to. That was your. This is your episode. That was your time.
Yeah,
That was
center of
solo.
attention. Here I am.
Woo, that was good. Give her a Grammy.
Wow.
Thank you so much. If you guys want to hire me to sing at your wedding, I am also available.
She
to do
does
that.
it all. She
I
does
could.
it
If you
all.
wanted to
The
just, like,
sounds
have
of
me
Sarah.
come up for one song, I could.
Just one.
Just one,
two.
maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or
I'll
the
stick
whole
around
thing.
for 5.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Your first dance, me.
Well, thanks for singing us out, Sarah, and thanks for talking today.
Of
Yes.
course. Love you guys.
Love you
so much.
Love you.